So everybody under ICE detention right now is have criminal backgrounds?
They're illegally here.
Do they have criminal backgrounds?
That's irrelevant. They committed a crime.
It's a crime.
That's
if
irrelevant.
You came here illegally, it's
That's
a crime.
irrelevant.
You just said it's a crime. If it's a crime, why is it not
They don't have to have a criminal history in America.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking
for
about.
them to be
You're
illegal.
brain fucking dead.
What are your children going to say? Oh, my daddy is an architect. Oh, my daddy is an electrician. And then your children are going to be like, my daddy harasses women for a living.
I'm getting insulted by a part-time Hot Topic employee. This is crazy.
Okay, Myron.
Yo, being fat at 17 is crazy. I'll tell you this. They definitely put the fries in the bag for her.
Why don't you just explain why you don't think women should have the right to vote?
Okay. What is a selective service?
I'm not sure.
That's why you shouldn't be able to vote.
But you just said trans don't deserve to hold guns and shouldn't have guns in the country. But you yourself own a gun.
Yeah, I'm not mentally ill or retarded.
But you're trans.
This is my biggest dream to come see you, so I wanted to ask you a quick question real quick.
What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? We are here at USC. I think, this is like the third time we've been here now at this point, so happy to be here. Some of my views, I think women are stupid. I think men are better than women at almost everything. Jews run America. Indians stink. Blacks are criminals. What else? Did I say Indians stink? Women's stupid. What? Yeah, Chinese are good at math, but they also steal our technology. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. And it wasn't 6 million. So yeah, we could go ahead and have a discussion, but today we're going to be focusing more on ICE. I know that there's been a lot of outrage with the ICE raids and the ICE surges in all the blue cities to enforce more immigration. There's been a couple shootings, etc. And we're also going to be discussing Valentine's Day and how Valentine's Day is for simps and how most guys should not be bothering with giving a majority of women any type of gifts because most women are useless. So yeah, anyone that agrees, disagrees, whatever it may be, if you want to give your take or whatever, feel free to come on up on the mic. We're going to focus on ICE first. But yeah, those are some of my positions when it comes to my worldviews. So who's up first? Oh, and I got some flowers here too. I guess I see, reverse Valentine's Day is cool. If I get the gifts, that's cool. No problem. So yeah, don't be scared, guys. You guys come on up on the mic. If you have a disagreement or you want to add to it or whatever, cool. What's up, man? How are you? Yo.
We talking about Israel?
Sure. I don't want to make the whole thing about Israel.
Of course not. Of course not. It's just I'm a conservative. I support Israel. I think it's important for us to have a relationship with an ally that allows us to project power across the Middle East, and particularly to stop China from pursuing their goals of dominating global trade, specifically in the Suez Canal. What do you think about that?
I think the relationship with Israel doesn't serve us at all.
Why?
Well, they get us into a bunch of foreign wars. They have a very powerful lobby group here in the United States that only really cares about their own affairs. We don't get the same strategic benefit from being with them that they get from us. I mean, President Nixon already admitted this. Several presidents know this. The only reason that we really support Israel is because we have a bunch of rich Jewish oligarchs that run America. So that's why.
Well,
and that's the cold, hard reality.
Well, first of all, I think it's important that we can acknowledge the fact that there is a large Jewish lobby in the United States, while at the same time acknowledge that there are more Christian Zionists in America than there are Jews in the world. And say, hey, maybe it's not the fact that we're being lobbied so hard, but it's the fact that this is just how voters typically believe. And also to counter the fact that Israel gets us into so many wars, a lot of those wars were either, specifically like things like Iraq, they were motivated by a combining factors of profound government corruption. You had Dick Cheney actively having conflicting interests, being the CEO of Halliburton, who rebuilds countries, and he's the CEO of another company which destroys countries, known as the United States government. But a lot of those other wars tended to have a mutual interest for both countries, I would argue.
There was no benefit to Iraq whatsoever.
I would agree. I agree.
They didn't have weapons of mass destruction. It was all a lie.
I agree. I think that was not due to the fact that Israel was getting us into the war, but the fact that we had a profound level of government, corruption, specifically with Dick Cheney and the Bush administration. I think that Iraq was a tragedy, but at the same time, I think that we should have a relationship with Israel.
No, not at all. Like I said, and even less now, even less so now with what they did in Gaza and all the wars that they're starting all across the Middle East. They're going to get us to bomb Iran. I hope you know that too. Like that's 100% going to happen because they're going to attack the Iranians no matter what at this point. Netanyahu looked like an idiot going to White House and getting a declination, and they're going to attack them by themselves, and we're going to get dragged into it because the Iranians already said if they get hit again that it's going to be an existential crisis for them, and they're going to fight back, and they're going to hit our bases as well as Tel Aviv and Haifa and all that. So there's really no strategic benefit to benefiting Israel.
Iran
the only reason
already
we
tried to bomb our bases. They didn't succeed. Every single missile that they fired us, we shot down.
It was a symbolic strike, and they
A
told them
symbolic strike. Why would you do a symbolic strike right after your biggest nuclear plants just got destroyed unilaterally by the United States military? It doesn't make any sense.
Because it's called strategic warfare and using
really.
a measured response. The point
A
was
measured
to
response.
yes.
If the United States' nuclear facilities got blown up by Russia, it would be all-out war. The fact of the matter is that Iran has been so neutered and kneecapped by the efforts of the United States and Israel that it can't afford to launch
You're missing the bottom line. Why are we at war with Iran?
We're at war with Iran because they're aligning themselves with China and they have positioned themselves to
No.
destabilize the entire Middle East. Every issue in
India
the Middle
aligns
East
themselves with China
can-
too. We don't bomb them. We're at war with Iran because of the
Israel-
Jews, okay? It's very simple.
Iran-
Jews run America. They run our infrastructure from every single point. You got people like Mark Levin saying bomb Iran every day on fucking Twitter, and I'm tired of hiding it. The
First of
fucking
all-
Jews have us going to war, and Americans are going to die for the Jews. I'm not going to let it happen again and now call it out because back during the 9/11 days, which you might have been a kid back then, we didn't have alternative media to be able to say, get this propaganda out of here. We justified the entire Iraq war off of Osama bin Laden allegedly attacking us on 9/11. Bin Laden and Saddam Hussein hated each other. There was no relation there whatsoever for some false weapons of mass destruction.
Myron,
This is the same propaganda from the early 2000s that they used to justify us being in the Middle East, and it's given us no fucking benefits except for Jews lining their pockets, going ahead and justifying wars all across the Middle East, and fixing their policy papers or enacting on their policy papers like the Clean Break Memo and the Project for a New Century. We get zero benefits from going to war in the Middle East. Iran is not our enemies. They don't have any threats to us. They're a threat to Israel, and now we're taking on that risk.
What about China? If we allow Iran, who has aligned themselves with China strategically, to position themselves, to align themselves with every other country in the Middle East, that gives them profound influence over the Suez Canal, which allows them to dominate global trade.
Israel sells
and
our
determine-
technology to the Chinese. They get caught doing it all the time.
China steals our technology anyways.
Yes, and who gives it to them? The Israelis. Bro. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked into that.
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
I bet
the
it's more
Israelis have been
nuanced
caught
than you're,
stealing.
than
The
you're
Israelis have been
putting.
caught giving our technology over to Israelis.
I mean,
Sorry, to
I haven't
Chinese.
looked into it. I mean, they might be, but the fact of the matter is, I think it's important to have a relationship that allows us to dominate global trade, and Israel provides that.
Israel's been stealing our technology for a very long time. Their spies have been getting caught. Some of the Jonathan Pollard, one of the worst spies ever.
I know Jonathan Pollard caused significant strains of the United States.
Yeah, and guess
Israel
what happened? Who was at the
And it
tarmac
was
to meet him in 2020?
It was repaired.
Hold on,
What?
who was at the tarmac to meet him in 2020?
Tell me who.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
He was released from prison early.
I'm not.
And they took him
defending
back to
Benjamin
Israel.
Netanyahu. I've never defended Benjamin Netanyahu. There are people back there who have spoken with about Israel before, and they can attest to it that I do not support Benjamin Netanyahu. I think that Benjamin Netanyahu has done irreparable damage to Israel's credibility on the world stage, specifically in how he's
been
conducted
their
the
longest
war.
lasting leader. He's the one that's been dragging us into the wars. We're going to get into another conflict with Iran if they strike.
I think
So,
that Iran.
Netanyahu is Israel.
I would totally support if there was a way to get rid of Iran's current government without dragging us into a forever war.
Regime
whatever that
changes
may
don't
be.
work, dude. I mean, we've seen
Regime
this for
changes absolutely
look
do
at
work.
Libya right now. Look at Iraq right
Panama.
now.
Look at Germany.
I'm talking about the Middle East.
Talk about the Middle East.
I'm talking about the Middle East.
Well, the
Regime
reason-
change wars don't work. We've seen this already all across the Middle
when
East.
you're
Every
trying
country
to
that
build
we've
a
destabilized, it doesn't work.
When you're trying to build a feminist utopia in Afghanistan, of course it's not going to work. But when you go in there with a set goal and allow the people to overthrow the government themselves, like look at Syria. Syria is building a functioning government as we speak. And the United States didn't have to spend a single troop to do that.
Yeah, just a bunch of intervention and supporting the Israelis so they can go ahead and bomb the Lebanese and then go ahead
Syria
and
was
be
aligning
able to.
themselves with Russia. Now they're aligning themselves with the West. I don't see how that's a bad thing.
They've been destabilized for decades. They've been fucked up for a long
decades.
time. So
And they were under the
again,
leadership of-
we don't have anything really to show for Middle East intervention from a United States perspective. The Israelis obviously love it because when the Middle East is destabilized, they could be the hegemony and they can do what they want to do. They want to be the only superpower over there. Fine, but let them do it on their own. Israel has a right to defend themselves, whatever you want to say. Fine, but we don't have to pay for it and or support it.